Hey there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you with another Hobbii yarn review for the month of June 2022. So I got two of these bags here. Hobbii reached out and said, would I like to do some review on some new yarns that they've got for their Hobbii line? And I said, yes, I would love to. Included in the order were some requests as well that I had made to Hobbii to try and work up these yarns in with some of the other lines that I have not used or tried before from Hobbii, and they graciously did deliver on all of the yarns that I requested. So I have two bags here. I got one here on the ground and one here on the table. I will cut them open and let's begin to see what I have inside of the bags. One of the new yarns that Hobbii wanted me to try out was this yarn here called the Panettone. And as you guessed it, it is called after the dessert cake from Italy that you generally see around Christmas time. I love the cake, by the way. And there are 11 colorways that you can choose from on the website right now. And they all have short spurts of color like this lime green and evergreen color. Each of the colors also have that shimmer strand that runs through the whole ball of yarn. I love green so much, I wanted to get this one here. It's called Spring Green and it is considered a 3-weight yarn. I'm just going to reel off some details here. They are suggesting to use a 4.5mm set of knitting needles or a 5.5mm crochet hook. In the 50-gram skein ball here, you get 120 meters or 131 yards. To hand wash and lay flat to dry are the care instructions. The materials in this is 87% cotton, 7% polyamide and 6% metallic fiber. It is quite soft. You don't feel the metallic in it whatsoever. And the yarn is made up of a construction of a chain spun yarn. I am reminded when I look at this yarn of pantyhose or nylons. It's quite a novel yarn. And I got two of the spring green colorway. So I've got 100 grams with the two balls combined. I also got it in this color here called mint green. There we go. And I also got it in this color here, which is called blue brown. And I've chosen a second yarn to pair it with in some color work, whether I'm going to use it in Mosaic crochet or if I'm going to knit, I'm going to knit some like Fair Isle style, maybe color work, stranded color work. And I'm pairing it with a yarn that I haven't tried before from Hobbii. Now this is a line that isn't a Hobbii line, and it is called olinoyan or a lino yarn. They have 36 colors in this blend of 50% linen and 50% cotton. It uses a lighter and a darker thread that they ply together and it gives this nice marl effect. It is not the softest cotton, but because it has that linen in it, it's going to have great stitch definition. And this colorway that I'm holding is color number 26, which is olive. 50-gram ball. You can machine wash this one, but because I'm going to be adding it in with this Panettone yarn, hand wash and lay flat to dry. They are suggesting here to use a 3 to 3.5mm set of knitting needles, and there's no crochet hook recommendation size. My thoughts with this one is that I'm going to pair this olive green in with the evergreen. I have another one here called lime. This one here is orange. This one is color number 21, which is copper. This color here is silver gray, and that is number 7. And lastly, I have color number 8, which is called Anthracite. I got 4 of these because I like the idea to use maybe a third color in with the set that I have. So I've got another 3 of those there, so I can put that down depending on whether the work that I choose to do calls for a darker contrasting gray. Those will be the lines of color choices that I've made in with the Panettone. The next yarn that Hobbii asked me to look at and review is their new Glitter Delight. The website's telling me there are 8 colorways and they're all very bright and light, like the whiteness running through them. So we have bright yellows, reds, greens. There are ones that are more rainbowy, and this one here is called Pastel Rainbow. So this is number 1 in the colorway numbers. Now, an interesting thing that I'm finding on their website right now is that they're missing number 8 and number 9 in the colorway choices. It jumps from 7 to 10. So I'm not too sure whether there were a couple of other colors previously or whether they're going to add in new colors to fill in the 8 and 9 place. But right now there are 8 different colorway numbers that I see. And yeah, so it's quite an interesting yarn. At first glance, it does look bumpy like a boucle yarn. So it has that interesting kind of texture to it. But on a closer inspection, you see that the 2 strands that are here are a golden strand with a very fluffy strand. Now the fluffy strand is not plied, it's a roving style strand and it's lightly plied, but when I pull on it, it does separate really easily. So it's quite a delicate yarn. Without that polyester, whether it's polyester or stellina golden thread running through it, I don't think this would be a very durable yarn. And it does have a little bit of elasticity in the golden thread. So I really like it. I think it'll make an interesting piece, but I would say if you were going to use this yarn, not to wear it in areas that get heavy use, or if you're going to be making a decor piece, I would say to make it where it doesn't get handled often and maybe sits there as a centerpiece that is more for show. I think this yarn would be a good choice. My concern is that through heavy use, that the yarn would not hold up very well, but if you were just using it as an accessory or an accent piece, it would be quite nice. Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about the yarn. It is 50% acrylic, 49% cotton, 1% polyester. So that might be the golden thread is polyester. It is recommending here a 7mm crochet hook or a 6mm set of knitting needles. It is made in Turkey. It's classified as a 5 bulky yarn. They're suggesting here on the ball band to machine wash and lay flat to dry for the care instructions. And it's interesting that they say lay flat to dry because I think maybe that's where you need to reshape the piece. If you're making a triangle or square, you might want to kind of like peg it or pin it down in that same shape as it's drying. What else can I tell you? Yeah, I think I got everything there. It's very soft. I don't feel the golden thread through it at all. Some of the novelty yarns that use gold or stellina or some type of shimmer in it, it can be a bit rough and wiry, but this one is not. Oh, I didn't tell you, they're 100 gram balls, and in the balls you get 105 meters or 114 yarns. And in case I need more yarn, Hobbii sent me a second color. So thank you, Hobbii. This is the colorway called Summer Meadow, and the colors are similar to the Pastel Rainbow, except they're more intense. The other thing that I requested from Hobbii were a couple of these packs that they have in 100% cotton. They have them in many different weight sizes as well. This one being the 8x6, which is classified 2 or a sport weight yarn. And I got pack number 9 and pack number 11. Hobbii also have lots of different other color packs. If you go on their website, they have packs for those who are neutral lovers or monochromatic lovers. They also have pastel, which is lovely. And I was drawn towards using these packs here. All the guesswork is taken out with Hobbii choosing the colors that go into these, and they all work nicely together. Now, a little bit about the yarn. It is, each little ball in these packs is 50 grams, giving me 105 meters or 115 yards to play with. It is a cotton that you can wash and you can lay flat to dry. It says here, it's made in India. And the cotton is not the softest, but the colors are all worked out for me. So thank you, Hobbii, for supplying me with my Pride Month project. The next thing that I really wanted to try, and Hobbii were generous enough to send me, were the Cotton Kings, and this is the Sultan Deluxe variety. The colorway that I've got here is called Star of India Sapphire, and it's number 5. The nice thing about this yarn that I haven't tried before is that it's actually applied all together and twisted so that there are no strands. Generally, the ones that I've used have had 4 strands. So the Cotton King Sultan Deluxe are applied cotton, and I love the feel of it. So airy and soft, and it'll be great for a summer garment. Let me tell you a little bit about this yarn. The Sultan Deluxe are 100% cotton, 250 grams in the cake, approximately 1,000 meters in length. I don't know what that is in yards. It's probably around 1,100 yards. And it's a 2-weight. It's Oeko-Tex standard approved. It says here that you can machine wash, but to lay flat to dry. They're saying here to use a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter set of knitting needles or a 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook for getting the type of project you want. But always, that's just a suggestion. You can always go bigger if you like a drapier feel on your garments. Then yeah, I would say swatch as you go. Where is it manufactured? In Turkey. Hobbii, you've really spoiled me. I did request to try a new yarn, and you obliged and sent me my favorite colors in the BC Garn Soft Silk. Now I'm looking on their site, and they have 35 colors in this 100% silk, and I got my favorites. This one here is called Olive Green, and the colorway number is 005. And as it is 100% silk, it has a nice sheen shimmer, not too over shiny, but it does have a nice kind of touch and feel to it. I would say that the texture, it won't be uniform working this up, because as with raw silk or silk that has nubs in it, it does have a little bit of a texture, and I really like that. So I'm very interested to find out how this works up, and I'm thinking of trying to do a brioche with these two, because I've never done brioche with silk before, and I want to see how it holds up. So let's take a look at what the ingredients are. Well, I said it's 100% silk, so that's the fiber. 100 grams in the hank gives me 350 meters. And they're suggesting here 3 to 4 millimeter knitting needles, no crochet hook size is mentioned. Now, washing instructions are, you can machine wash this, but it's got a note here to say that the dye may bleed on the first wash or several washes. So hand washing in separate until the water rinse is clear is advised. And that's great to know up front, so that you're not putting this in with other garments and then finding that the washes coming out the color, the color that your yarn is bled. So yeah, I love olive green. It's so wonderful. No itch to it whatsoever. It'll be great for a summer garment. The other color that I got here is color number 037, and this one is called Pine Tree. So again, another green. I'm thinking maybe brioching them together into something. I'm not sure. But this one might come a little after June because I have other things that I'm working on for the rest of June. And I'd like to take my time and not rush this piece until something inspires me to work up these yarn. As always, Hobbii, you are adding in extras for us. I'm not sure whether these things are for people who purchase from you. I know that whenever I've purchased, I do get free little gifts from Hobbii. This time round, I got two notebooks in this wonderful floral design, and the pages have the little gridded dots for design work and color work. I really like them. Lots of pages there for my little scribbling. So thank you, Hobbii. And I got the famous Hobbii candies, which I will eat because my stomach is grumbling. And I got some shawl pins, but I think I could actually fashion these to be live stitch marker holders too. If I've got like a underarm, say 8 or 9 stitches loose that I need to keep live, and I can use these to clip on the live stitches. I'm not too sure, but thank you. I'm really excited to get started, and I hope you will join in the month of June as I work on some new projects. I was eager to get started using the Panettone and the BC Ghana Lino yarns in a new to me Mosaic crochet stitch that was taught by one of my friends here on YouTube, Crystal, over at Bag O' Day, and that is called the Inset crochet stitch. I absolutely loved this tutorial, and these two yarns played perfectly with each other. High contrast, well-defined stitches, and the pizzazz of the Panettone was grounded a little with the more all-purpose BC Ghana Lino yarn. I'm using my Susan Bates metal hook, and it is a 3.75. I'm finding that it is gripping a little bit on the yarn until I get my rhythm, but that might be due to the fact that there was a lot of moisture in my hands on this sunny day. I absolutely love how these two play together. I'm giving these a 4 out of 5 for frog friendly, 5 being the most highest score in frog friendly. There was no catching. There was a little bit of splitting on the BC Garn, but that was only because after a few mess ups and I had to redo the work again, I found that the BC Garn Alino started to unravel, but it was easy to work around these issues. Next up, I am enjoying my sunny afternoon at lunch break working on the Glitter Delight. The main part of this yarn that's coming through is the white base, and then interspersed in that white is like these vibrant colors, which is lovely. And I'm using the Chagu knitting needles of 8mm doing a linen stitch. It is a denser stitch, and I do choose this for a reason because this yarn is quite fragile and delicate, and I'm hoping that producing a thicker and more sturdy stitch that the yarn will hold its form. I'm finding as well as I'm working with this, it is shedding a bit. The frog friendly value of this yarn is going to be rating a 4 out of 5 as well, so it does not catch on itself, and I enjoyed working with it. Next up are the Hobbii Rainbow Cotton Sport Weight Variety packs that I got, and I am working up my Pride project. I decided to switch it up. Here you can see me crocheting some hexagons, and I was thinking of join as you go hexagons. I'm finding that the yarn is working out really nicely with my 3mm crochet hook, and there's no splitting. I'm enjoying that there is no drag on my metal hook as well, but I changed it up and I wanted to move on to doing a blend in a knit variety. Here I'm using a slip stitch pattern, which isn't really a pattern. I'm just making it up as I go along. And I am using my Chargu knitting needles of 6.5 millimeters. And I'm starting to work the flag up from the bottom. So that is the indigo or purple color, blue, then green, yellow, orange, and red. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this project. The knitting needle pairing size that I chose created this nice drapey fabric, and it was quite stretchy. The last yarn that I'm going to be reviewing in this episode is the Cotton King Sultan Deluxe. I'm working up my 3mm crochet hook with the Morben design pattern called Edlothia, and I'm finding that they're pairing really nicely and running quite smoothly. I've made a couple of fluffs along the way because I don't know this pattern very well, and there are some new stitches, so I've had to pull back a few times. I'm giving the yarn a frog-friendly 4 out of 5, as it does not catch on itself and it unravels cleanly. However, once I work back over stitches, I'm finding that the yarn does split a little bit, and with some consideration with your motion, perhaps carefully crocheting and reworking those stitches, that there won't be any issues, but just a flag that it does get tied quite easily. I love the transition of color, how it blends slowly from one to another. In closing, I want to thank everyone for watching and joining in on this video while I have fun working up the Hobbii review yarn that they set me free of charge in June 2022. I've had so much fun. It's always a challenge trying to find what tools I'm going to be using to work up this yarn and what items I'm going to be making, patterns or off the top of my head. So yeah, I've had lots of fun. These items that I'm working on, they will be finished up and I will showcase them in an upcoming video episode of Urban Yarn. So please be on the lookout for that. And I want to wish everyone a happy summer. So let's get cracking on working on finishing these projects. See you soon. Bye.